Food chicken tenders. Yeah. He isn't slender, yeah, bitch just doesn't know his gender. Throwing Hero's team into a blender. His job is a micro bender. You can hear his boom like thunder. Yeah. Yoshi the fights, there's no delay. He hates bullets, always portrays. When you see his clips, you always replay. Hero's team is always astray. Always answer truthfully in a survey. It's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's not just.
What's up, everybody? It's your nerd Jaden, until we're back with another video. So, I got some of my favorite Skylanders trap team characters over there. You got Nightlight, you got Snapshot, Wildfire, Quick Wreck, Chopper, Gusto, and Wallop. You probably can't see them clearly because, I mean, they're so far away. But yeah, there they are. And the reason they're here is because we're reacting to Squared Eye Jack's Trap Team review. Now, I know this is a controversial review. The rating he gives it, is out of this world, apparently, to some people. So I don't really remember this video too much because you already know my memory is horrible. So hey, it's like I'm watching the video for the first time, even though I haven't. But it feels like it. So, anyways, let's get it.
Now, unfortunately, due to time constraints and various other reasons, Skylanders reviews will stop once again until we can get back to them in 2018.
Alright, oh, wow. 2 years later, my dude.
Wow. It has been such a long time since we last covered the Skylanders series.
Such a long time is
so long, in fact, that I'm pretty sure all of the kids who were fans of the games back then have since grown up.
Understatement, not underestimated. What? Understatement.
But not me. In fact, my Skylanders adventure is only just getting started.
Oh yeah, you got some more games to do, my dude.
Games left to look at. Starting off
and more videos
Skylanders
for me to make because these are so
episode.
entertaining.
So,
I got to.
Let's grab our figures and get started.
Just pour them all out. There you go. Wait, there's a Skylander standing on ambush. Oh, that's Magnet Charge's top. Oh. I got bad eyesight.
Judge me.
Nah, I mean, yeah. Oh, we got a Heroes video, whatever. Oh yeah. Go, Hero. Come on, man. Oh my God, Hero!
Since it really has been a while since we discussed any of these games, allow me to quickly refresh your memory on where we're at with the series so far.
Make me.
The debut game,
What? Make me? Don't do it. What?
Quite a solid experience. Lots of very well done characters.
My mind is screwed up. I mean, I just woke up.
Repetitive at times, it included gameplay that was both energetic and explorative to create a fun experience. The gimmick was incredibly solid and genius from a business perspective.
That's facts.
Where it lacked was in some of the repetition, but Scott...
Very genius. Good on you, Activision. I mean, I never thought I'd be saying that. Activision, good. What?
Skylanders Giants, the first sequel, polished and streamlined the entire experience with more variety in both locations and gameplay styles, improved many mechanics, and introduced the giant figures, which were really
all around a good improvement.
Force, however, while still a very solid game, undid a lot of the good progress.
Yeah, I can't say that this is a good improvement.
Brought back the recycling of level themes, making things more droning to get through. The swap figures, while again a really
creative,
cool idea,
I got my boy
ultimately hurt the
Doomstone and
experience by just introducing far too many additional side areas that dragged the enjoyable moments to a halt while delivering some ridiculously extensive levels. Some of these easily surpassing an hour to complete, which made it exhausting a lot of the time. Looking back at these older episodes, I'd like to point out that I do still stand by a lot of my praise for this franchise. These games are just so much fun.
Yeah,
What
I
can
mean,
say?
you
Forget using
would think they're bad at first, but no, they're actually really good.
Predatory business model. At the end of the day, these games are incredibly solid, fun action games with a lot
Like if
of
you're a
content
Spyro fan,
to
you'd
play
think
through,
they're bad at
which
first.
is the most important thing to remember. But despite that, I'm starting to second guess the decision to resurrect this series review. Maybe instead, I should be resurrecting the video game workout series because, goddamn, I haven't seen my neck in years.
Oh God,
So
I had
with
that
all
same
of that
problem,
out
bro.
of the
But
way,
we
let's
good
take
now.
a dive back into
Good.
the world of Skylanders.
Good now.
Yo, I'm really excited to be back into these games. Master Eon tells us the story of ancient Doom Raiders, a band of characters led by the Golden Queen, who basically just ran around doing all the evil
The
shit.
woman that has a
That was
frustrating
until
boss
the elite
fight.
track
I
team
mean,
was
second
formed
to
and
Chaos.
The Doom Raiders were defeated, locked away in a
Frick that
prison
Chaos
built
boss
of
fight.
trap
Oh my God, I hate it.
Meanwhile, in the present
horrible.
day, our heroes are celebrating the
frustrating,
grand
but-
opening of Skylanders Academy as the prison is destroyed by Chaos, letting the Doom Raiders free to work for him. However, the Golden Queen overrules his power and leads an attack against the Skylanders.
Yep.
So that's our story. Standard stuff, but it's so nice to see a new main
That
villain
is facts.
because
You don't need
Chaos
Chaos's
has always
redundant
been
plans for the
lackluster as a
100th time.
character. As for everyone
I mean,
else,
Chaos
though,
does
it
come
is
back,
very
but-
clear that the character design in these games has certainly improved from the earlier days of the series.
100%,
because
man.
all
Gotta
of the
give Trap
Doom
Team that.
Raiders and all of the Trap Team look absolutely awesome.
Especially Chef
Before we
Pepperdog,
can
like
play
he's such a
anything,
creative
though,
character.
First, we need a brand new portal, of course, as well as some Trap Team figures to go
Yo,
along
your
with.
face though.
Special thanks to Trap
I
Team
feel
for
I
supplying
feel creeped
all
out.
of the figures you'll see in today's
Oh,
episode.
Doomstone, let's go. I got you. I got you.
Absolute bloody legend. Sorry it took 2 years
Sorry, I'm
to
flexing on you.
finally get
Sorry.
around to this, but I hope the wait was worth it. So, jumping
Yeah.
into the game, everything is
I really
looking
like
very
Doomstone so
familiar.
far, though.
The gameplay is very much the same, with identical visuals and music direction. We still have the elemental gates to access side areas, and overall,
Hey, you got the trophy.
it's just another Skylanders game. What can I say?
Yeah, I mean,
But
gameplay
the big
basically
gimmick
the
here
same.
is the new ability to trap Doom Raiders
I mean,
as
you
well
do
as
got the
other
traps,
generic
though,
enemies
like you say.
who we meet throughout the various stages. Along with our new portal and trap figures, we also need to stockpile a whole bunch of traps to use.
Yep,
in the
more
game.
more things
Once
to
you've
get.
defeated the enemy, you place a trap of the correct element type into the portal device to capture them. And what's cool is that you actually get sounds coming out of the portal.
Sorry, man, COVID.
Sheep Creek, trapped.
Yeah, it was very.
Now, what this allows you to do
really cool at
is
the time.
actually play as the villain characters. Very neat, I must say.
Did I just say
Especially
very,
when
really
it comes
cool?
to Doom Raiders, as, like I already mentioned, their designs are so great. So essentially, what we have here is an additional set of purchasable characters, much like the regular figures, only these are all interchangeable across the various different trap types. It's convoluted, but actually
Very.
pretty cool. Playing as the villain characters is always such a fun gimmick, and I'm surprised more games don't tap into that. Now that we've
Yeah,
captured
it's
the big blue guy,
very,
and completed the first
marketable-
level, we can
marketable
check out and
idea.
explore Skylanders Academy, which serves as our hub world for the game. Like a lot of the others before it, new areas are gradually introduced over the course of the story. We can upgrade our figures, enter battle arenas and other secondary modes, as well as explore the various locations to find new secrets, all of which are staples of the franchise, along with some new additions to play with. All
yeah, my
of
boy
this is
T-Bone.
great, the design of the location is good, but I don't know. I feel like this is a real me issue, so let me know how you feel about it, but I personally don't enjoy how massive this place is. It's
I agree. I actually agree so much on that. I mean, yeah, I guess the Swap Force one was kind of big. Not gonna lie, you know, that's what she said also. But, hey, Trap Team takes it to the next level, like giving you so much to do that's kind of overwhelming at a point. That's just my opinion, but hey,
one thing to have a great base camp.
Opinion is an opinion,
such
like,
as Peter's Castle
gotta
or
respect
the
it.
home worlds from Spyro the Dragon. But when everything is so spread apart like
Wow,
this, it's
me
just
being
not
Captain
efficient to
Obvious,
see any of
opinion
this
is
stuff,
opinion.
and feels like a waste of time when you walk all the way to one part of the map
Man, I'm
and
dumb.
find nothing to do. There are teleporters in a few select locations, but still, I feel like the airship from Giants was still a prime example of how a
Yes.
streamlined hub area can be so important to get right.
It's quality over
But
quantity.
otherwise, Trap Team really is just another Skylanders experience, which
Hey, at least you get the
is
Falling
kind
Forest
of disappointing.
reference.
Getting into the
in that.
main meat of the game
in the
now,
game.
running through the various locations, trapping enemies and defeating Doom Raiders is all well and good, but something about the gameplay just doesn't feel as satisfying. For one, playing as the trapped characters is a step down from any of your
I tried to be a
regular
serial
Skylanders
killer, but
figures. They've got
instead
less
became a
moves, are
simp. That's like a
generally
hero
weaker in
title.
comparison,
Sorry.
And many of these characters are small, utterly worthless
And a
creatures
Riptide
that are
simp
not
title, too.
appealing to play as.
But yeah,
guess
I
they're
agree.
here as a joke, but they offer nothing, so why waste the time in...
Yeah, I mean, why play as, you know, those characters? I mean, I guess villains can be, quick switch outs when your normal character is on like a parallel amount of health. You can just switch it on the fly. You'll be all good, but they don't even like have that much move like to their moveset. Like they only got 2 moves, and normal Doom Raiders have 3 moves. But hey,
including them. Look at Broccoli Guy here. Who wants to play as this character?
me.
No
I mean,
Hey, look, Broccoli Guy was
that's
framed,
for my
okay?
feelings.
But what's
I'm
disappointing
kidding.
about this is that the regular
Broccoli Guy is a
Skylanders
Gito,
figures are
you know?
also just as unimportant
I'm
to
kidding,
this
though,
game.
he sucks.
Not only are they also weaker and much less interesting next to the cooler Trap Masters, I mean, come on, which one of these characters would you rather
That's
play
right.
as? But
Cores
only
are
Trap
so
Masters
overshadowed.
can access elemental gates now, so you're wasting your time even
Yeah,
using these guys.
That's true.
That's fun. Good to know they sold a bunch of figures to kids not worth squat. And what about all of the other figures from the previous game?
They get into squat
well,
too,
they're
man.
all still compatible, so you can use
I mean,
them if
yeah,
you
you can use
choose.
them, but
why
they-
would you want to?
yeah.
There are no feats of strength for the Giants,
You can
only
pick up
the
stones.
very occasional boulder to throw.
Yeah.
There are no challenges based on the various swap
Occasional
abilities,
keyword.
and there aren't even any mixed elemental gates either. You don't need swap figures to use those if you have the correct elements and a second player, so I see no reason why these wouldn't be included again. How can you possibly expect people to invest in these things if the gameplay content you get from them is not going to be included in the next title?
Yeah, it's just
That
disappointing.
makes everything you see here a complete waste when it
Oh, I
comes
remember
to Trap
this.
Team. What a shame. So, if we don't
Yo,
have access...
I did the same thing in one of my Skylanders Web Reviews episodes. You know, a Ruptor, I guess just demolished my Skylander collection that I have over there. You know, he just hit it, and then my dad, a couple minutes later, came down and was like, what the hell was that? And I was like, some of my Skylanders accidentally fell down. And he was like, oh, okay, that's alright.
access to any of the additional side content
I mean,
that was
I wasn't
introduced in
being-
the previous game.
I wasn't being
Then
wrong.
What is there to actually do in this game? I think this is the culprit for why many of the levels are significantly shorter this time around. We've gone from
mean, they're good
stages
length.
lasting over an hour to barely surpassing half an hour in some cases, even
Yeah.
with all of the side paths. I am very happy to see that there are no recycled level themes this time around, how it should be in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the levels are still heavily padded with side areas, which
Okay.
means the
I mean,
primary gameplay is
like, the
incredibly
environments
limited.
themselves look
Instead,
really good, though.
we're spending time exploring elemental gates, completing segments exclusive to trapped
got a big forehead.
characters, and also just standing around waiting. I've put up
Yep.
with it in the previous game.
Gotta love those
Now I'm
segments.
sick of it. How hard is it to just let me pick things up instead of slamming the controller and wading through all of this stuff over and
Yeah,
over
it's just
again?
boring as hell.
We
Who wants
also
to
have
do
these
that?
videos scattered around now that spew out coins. That's fine, but sitting around waiting for them to do that absolutely
Snapchat just like-
destroys the pace of these levels. We still have to stop and complete the odd
Do like a
puzzle
TikTok
or play a
move,
game of
okay?
Skystone Smash as well, but I actually don't mind these roadblocks. They are a fun distraction.
Gameplay
but more
change up, yeah.
importantly, they offer gameplay variety.
Yes,
unlike a lot
that's
of
the
other
word I was
junk
saying.
clogging up this
Trying to
game.
say.
And alongside some of the other mechanics found in select levels, these help to keep things fresh. What's
Right.
not fun is going into an elemental gate and waiting around on fucking platforms for nothing other than a dumb hat. And from
Yep,
what
so
I
fun.
can tell,
Gotta love
there
it.
seems to be less elemental gates overall, instead favouring side missions for the trapped enemies. Reaching one of these with the correct character trapped gains access to a quick side quest. For the more
Some of them are
prominent
fun, yeah.
characters, these are mini-game challenge levels that aren't anything special, but still do help to break things up a bit. But a lot of these don't even give you a mission. Instead,
Oh, yeah,
it's
they just,
like
you know,
a quick dialogue
you just have to go to them
exchange
and then,
you're
you know,
finished.
that's it.
What's the point?
And there's
When
like
you
the Chaos
complete
one.
these, the
That's just
enemy
so
character
bad.
gets an upgrade for their abilities and a new skin, but otherwise, they are a complete waste of time. And keep in mind, this is the only exclusive gameplay to come out of purchasing all of these traps.
Oh,
so
that's right,
once
yeah.
it's done,
That's just-
there is next
that's
to
a no-no.
reason to ever play as those characters again when they're so much less usable than the regular figures. It really makes it seem like such a waste when you have all of these different traps and figures when you get such a small amount of in-game content out of them.
Yeah, when you
Which,
think
as
about
the
that way.
consumer, makes this entire experience so unsatisfying. Take, for example, the only two characters in the game of the new Dark Element. They look pretty badass, right?
I mean, that's true, yeah.
Take a guess how fucking worthless they are. We've
Don't
already
do anything.
established that standard Skylanders are inferior to Trap Masters in every way, so there is no
Yeah, that's
justification
Blackout all the way.
for even using this figure. But then, there are almost no areas in the game where dark characters are stronger than normal.
Wow,
And
that's
the very
racist,
few dark
Activision.
elemental gates I came across were just lame physics puzzles. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
So that's two of the coolest figures ever produced for this series that are a total waste. And
Wow.
that's my problem with Trap Team. Generally speaking,
It's just-
the game
yeah, it just
overall is
puts things
still
to
of a
waste.
decent quality. It's fun to play, it's got good presentation, and a lot of content to get through.
Right.
But it is absolutely the first game in the series to feel like a monetary waste, if you ask me.
I get it,
And
yeah.
that
There's so much.
is a major fuck up.
Yeah, there's so much wrong
It
with
just
that.
leaves you playing through this thing entirely numb when you don't feel like the price of admission is worth it. And when the franchise already started off stretching that limit with the first game, at this point, it's far too damaging for Trap Team to operate this way. I've found
I
myself
get it.
playing through all of these levels that show so much potential and just feeling nothing. Nothing back.
I mean, especially the level you just shown back, like, what's it called? The Future of Skylands. That has so much potential as well. They just make it like a normal space level. I mean, sure, you got that segment at the end where you gotta blast like the stuff, or something in the spaceship, but I mean, it's okay. But you know, it's just, you could do so much. There's so much potential with a level called The Future of Skylands. Like, it could just be, you know, a world of nothing, because that's what this Future of Skylands is right now. We're getting no games, like, or actually no, the Future of Skylands would just be Ring of Heroes. So,
Had, but nothing good either. Some of the standouts would
forgot about
include
Ring of Heroes.
Rainfish Riviera, Monster Marsh, and the secret sewers of Supreme Sting.
Those are some good
but
levels.
even they don't have much significant to offer compared to anything else.
I mean,
Some
Sewer
of the
Supreme
battles against
Sting.
the Doom Raiders would certainly be highlights of the game, but only because it's great to see some actually decent characters appearing in
Yeah,
these
especially
games.
Crankcase.
A
He's a
vortex.
he's a
I've really been
case.
trying to stay out of those things lately.
Partway through the story, the Golden Queen actually expels Chaos from the
Whoa,
evil group,
what a
which
fun.
sees him asking the Skylanders for help to defeat them. An interesting plot point, but one that doesn't really go anywhere, and unless
Yeah.
you're 5 years old, you can probably guess where this is going to lead us.
I mean, I have the
Somewhere
brain of a
past the
5-year-old,
halfway
so I
mark
mean,
in this game, things start to feel rushed and less thought out. Story beats
I
that should have
actually
great
did-
impact
like,
are resolved
I didn't see
almost
it coming as a
immediately,
kid, so
and there seems to be zero
that is
consequence
embarrassing,
for
I'm
anything
sorry.
going on. Again, making our time spent
But nowadays,
in
of
certain
course, it's completely
locations
obvious.
feel like
I
a
mean-
waste. But what also makes things feel less thought out is that many of the later levels feature very few trappable enemies, which I'm actually not going to complain about, because
Okay.
having to sit through these drawn out moments kills the pace of gameplay, which is not worth it just
I
to
mean-
hear some dumb audio clips.
I mean, maybe the reason why there was just fewer enemies, and trappable enemies, was probably just because time constraints, going on a rush. I don't know. That's just a guess.
This trap, some kind of trap.
Or
I've
it was
never
just
been in a
their
trap
decision,
before. It's
you know,
like
to
a
do
trap
it,
for
but
some reason, but never a trap.
But what this essentially means is that the earlier part of the game is very front-loaded with this gimmick and is almost
Yeah.
forgotten about after a while. Strange. I would assume this was done to prevent having too much backtracking from reaching character-specific side quests before you've actually encountered the characters. That makes sense, right? And thank you for doing that, because there is nothing worse than forced replayability. But I can't even give credit for doing that when at the same time, Trap Team features many instances where you find a mission for a character you
Oh, yeah,
haven't
and then
trapped
you
yet,
just gotta go to
into the literal next
Yeah,
room,
it's
find
freaking
them,
annoying.
trap them, and then can't even go back the way you came because it's suddenly locked off.
Then you gotta
Meaning
freaking
that to
replay the
pass
level,
that
and
side
then-
objective,
come on, man.
You have
Yeah,
no
that's
other
annoying.
choice but to replay the entire stage all over again.
It's a poor
Motherfucker.
it's just a poor decision.
Such as the Golden Queen literally taking over, which, as you might expect, changes absolutely nothing within the game world.
It would have been cool if it did,
We
though.
finally cross the Golden Desert into her lair for a final showdown, and this is easily one of the best boss fights to come out of these
For real.
games, which is awesome to see. This character is incredibly cliche, but that's because it's such a winner. But of course, once she's been defeated and trapped, meaning that, yes, you actually get to play as the main villain in this game, Chaos,
Woo.
right on cue for the most predictable plot twist in history,
Whoa.
takes over the ultimate weapon and transforms into super evil purple Chaos. Sure, whatever. So, this is our final level, and you know how I said that playing as trapped Doom Raiders offers nothing to the game? Well, the Golden Queen here, the villain for this game, all she is used for in this level is opening up these locked boxes for some additional treasure, and that's it.
Yeah, the main villain of the game gets
All
that.
these traps was worth it, asshole! What I really love about this level, though,
Nice
is
treatment.
now that Chaos is being all super freaky, he actually
Oh, Chaos, freaky,
communicates
freaky.
to us through the speaker on the portal.
My power is growing, Portal Master. Soon
Yeah, that's a
I will
really
utterly
cool feature.
squash your pitiful sky loser, and then I'm coming after you. Sir, you really need to take your finger off the button when you're done
Facts.
talking.
Glumshanks,
It's a push to
Glumshanks
talk button,
the
you know?
Really
it's
irks
a
me that he
illogical,
constantly interrupts the game like
electrical.
this to say
What?
nothing of value, but I
He's a
can't
smart guy when
deny
it comes
that this
to
is a
the
great
duo of
It's
Chaos
basically
and
the kid-friendly version of Psycho Mantis in
electrical.
Metal Gear
Electrical.
Solid.
What?
The rest of this level doesn't have much
Electrical.
going on,
I won't stop
unfortunately,
talking.
but the fight against Chaos at the end,
It's
again,
horrible.
is a new standard to match.
Oh.
His best battle of the series, without question, and once he fights...
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's good, but it's horribly hard. Like, I mean, I guess, man, there's so much mixed feelings with that boss fight with me. It's so, I mean, it's like a lock killer. I'm not gonna lie. when you're doing a Skylanders lock, that's what kills you. Basically, it feels like that's what happens. I mean, not for everybody, but for most people, freaking fly.
Finally gets knocked down, it's still not over.
Yep. Everybody's faces too. Oh my god. No, no, no. Why'd you do this
If
to
you
me?
happen to own the very special Chaos Trap, then you can place it in the portal at the end of this fight and capture the little runt, truly saving
Finally.
Skylands. And yes, that also means that you get to play as him too, which is fucking awesome. He has some of the coolest attacks out of all of the trappable enemies.
Facts,
all
he's like the
taken
best
from his
villain in the
previous
game.
boss fights. That is so cool. But what a damn shame that we only get access to this character after the story is completed, and not during his alliance with us through the majority of the game. Thankfully, there is still a lot of stuff to do here. We've got arena challenges making a return. Chaos Doom challenges are these defensive arenas with turret mechanics where you have to protect the treasure from waves of enemies. I think this is a really neat mode, but the constant stopping and resetting between rounds really make it so much more tedious than it needs to be. The turret repairs and collection of items all happens automatically, so there is no reason to be stopping all the time. And of course, this game also has some additional levels found by purchasing magic items. The Mirror of Mystery here is fucking woeful and I hate it. So the quality...
Hey yo, I've not played that level in a long time, so I can't even state my opinion, but I know Hero likes it a lot, so Hero's gonna cry from that.
of these DLC maps are still getting worse with each game. And remember,
I mean, I remember the
you're
Nightmare
paying
Express being
extra
really
money
good.
for this, which makes it more disappointing, especially when you look at this special Chaos Trap. You'd think that
I've got a
maybe
big
you
nose.
would get a
I need
full
to-
level along with this too, right? Since it's such an important item, and Chaos is one of the premier villains that you would want to play as.
That's facts.
But no, you don't get a new map to explore. Hell, Chaos doesn't even get a brief side challenge like the
That's
other
what I was
bad
talking
guys.
about.
All you get is a quick cutscene involving an evil cake, and that's it. You have to...
Why? For the... Should I go on a full rant? You know, I'm doing it. For the main villain in the game, you give him this. Like, main villain in every single Skylanders game, you give him that. He bakes a goddamn cake. Blobbers of all people. Okay. Okay.
pay money to see this. That
Blobbers.
is fucking
Blobbers.
disgusting.
Why
this
blobbers?
is the
I
villain
know.
of the series. And
Blobbers
you
being
can't
here, it
even
doesn't matter, I'm
give
just making a big
anything
deal.
of value to do in this game. What a waste. Waste? That's our super secret Skylanders word for the day.
I knew it.
Hooray!
I even said it.
Making the
I
effort
even
to
said
enemies
that
is a
Skylanders
waste of
Trap
time
team
when they
just
offer so little gameplay
wasted
in
so much.
return. The regular Skylanders are a waste of
But
plastic when they can't
I still
do
love it.
anything compared to
I'm
the trap
sorry.
figures.
I still love
and
it.
all of that time and money you spent on the previous games is all a fucking waste because none of it has any purpose now. And listen, the game overall is still fine. Everything looks and sounds good,
sucks.
the combat is decent, and even though levels lack a lot of the additional side paths, there is still so much to complete in this game. It took me 14 hours to finish the story mode alone,
Goddamn
which in
fly.
any other circumstance, I'd say was certainly a bang for your buck. But not this game. Trap Team has been crippled by its predatory business model. The same business model that I've defended in the past on the basis that it can provide a good return in gameplay content for the price of entry. But because so much of this stuff is ultimately worthless here, it holds back what could have been a good game from even receiving an average grade. Skylanders Trap Team gets 4.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt. It's like a gunshot to the heart. No, what? Why did I do that? Okay, you know what? We already knew who was about to say that. Wow, Skylanders Trap Team a 4 out of 10. Oh man, I don't know what to say about that. Like, he has really good points. I'm not gonna lie, he has pretty good points. But the nostalgia of me just wants to put it up in like, man, I know that was a controversial friggin' rating. I know it. Skylanders Trap Team 4 to 10. Sorry, I'm staring at this, thinking. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, guys. I'll have to go think about that. I mean, he had some really good points, but I'm lost. I'm lost. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could say overall Trap Team was, just dumbed down by the freaking business model, or what he said in the video. Everything, I guess was very expensive. Like, I think Trap Team's the most expensive game in the franchise to date. I mean, we're probably not gonna get a Skylanders game anytime soon, but I'm hoping. But yeah, it sucks that a game that has a lot of potential is it's wasted by a freaking Activision's grubby hands. Whatever, I could go on and on, but you don't want to hear me doing that. Hope you guys liked this reaction, and peace out.
No delay, he hates bullets, always portrays. When you see his clips, you always replay. Hero's team is always